You're you're live.
Mute your
Chill
background.
out. You said what? Oh, mute my background. Okay, let me find it.
Thank you.
Marvelous.
Okay, we're live now. Okay, we're gonna start our team meeting today. I'm gonna start by introducing myself. My name is Terry Davis. I'm a double diamond with It Works Global. We have a guest in our room, so we're gonna go around anyways and announce who we are, and you guys can also state your ranks. Hold on one second.
Sebastian, can you turn the light on for mommy?
Angela, you're unmuted. Okay. Go.
I'm Jamila Vaughn, and I'm executive.
White Patterson, still.
Pat Patterson, Diamond.
Pamela Cotton, and the Madam Decision.
You come on cross, baby.
Yes, I got it, don't you? Courtney Cole, Ruby. Ruby Hill, distributor.
Ida Hill, distributor.
Kanita McGee, Ruby.
Woo! Okay, I'm about to send my dad so he can for me. Okay, so today I've been thinking for I guess the last couple of months. Well, I've been thinking for the month. What do I think the team needs to kind of work on? What's going to help us go to the next level? And so I read a book. Kanika read it as well. It's a book that I think everybody should read. It's called Go for No. So becoming a distributor with our company, there's a lot of different expectations that people have in the beginning, and I kind of want to address those expectations that people have, the fears that they have, and kind of come full circle. Actually, let me say, so today in our meeting, I'll write a paper. We're actually going to talk about what I just said, some fears that people have in the beginning becoming a distributor. We're also going to talk about what you need to know when you sign up as a distributor, what are some of the key things you need to do, and we're also going to talk about charting. So, like I said, though, we're going to talk about some of the things that a lot of people are hung up on in the very beginning. I know for me, as well as everybody else, typically, everybody usually has a fear of rejection in network marketing or just in general. A lot of people don't like to just come up to a stranger, say hello, how are you, or carry on any conversation. So with the book Go for No, the author was portraying to everybody that you need to kind of change your perspective on the no. Don't look at it in a negative manner. The no should empower you because the only people getting the no's are the people that are actually going out there working. And so the book, like I said, is called Go for No. So it's wanting you to go out, talk to as many people as possible, and instead of just kind of looking at it like, okay, I'm going to try to make a sale, he wants you to go for no, meaning you might come to your first 5 people that all said yes, and that might have been your goal for the day. I want to get 5 yeses. So I'm going to go talk to my first 5 and I got a yes. But then after that, you kind of stop because you hit your goal. But if your goal would have been, I'm not going to stop till I get to 3 or 4 no's, then you're going to increase the number of people that you've been talking to. So it's a kind of a good way to change how you think about things. And that's kind of the basis of the book, and that's what I got out of it. I mean, we can ask Anita as well because she read it. Do you have any?
To add to what you're saying, if you go for no, if you getting your guesses, you meet your goals. If you're actually going for no, you're gonna continue and continue and continue going and searching for people and don't stop because you're going for no and you want as many no's that you can possibly get. For me, we need to kind of like change our mindset of a lot of people fear that yes, so we, put in our mind that I'm going for no, then when you get that no, it's not a big shock or it doesn't hurt your feelings or anything like that. But when you get that yes, great. But if you're seeking the no, somebody tell you no, you can quickly bounce back and move on to that next person.
Right. So one of the points that was made in the book were the 5 levels of failure. And so I guess one thing to realize, we're not like when you go out and try to get somebody to buy a product from you, and if they say no, that doesn't make you a failure. Just like that act of that sale kind of respond to it. So there's different levels, and so level 1 is the ability to fail. And I kind of want
Okay, I don't know what happened to Terry or where she went, but that's okay. We'll see if we can get her to come back on. Hey, what happened?
My dad,
Okay, so level 2, the willingness to fail. Level 2 people develop to accept failure as a natural byproduct of the process of seeking success. Fewer than 20% of all people make it to level 2 for any sustained period of time. I think for myself, I've kind of got to level 2 because I do realize in this business, you're going to have to fail to succeed. Not only that, I'm willing to take that no, and I don't take it as personal. I learn from the no. It helps me learn, what I said to somebody. Maybe I didn't say the right thing, or maybe I came off too aggressively, or maybe I was too passive, because there's different times where I can go back and think if I would have just said something else, it would have been a different conversation. But for me, I feel like level 2 is where I think a lot of people kind of are on our team anyways, that people understand not everybody's going to say yes, and they can accept that willingness to fail because they're going to go out and talk to the next person. I think the big kicker is when you get to level 3. And level 3 is called the wantingness to fail. Having the wantingness to fail goes beyond mere tolerance or acceptance of failure as a part of life. Wantingness means developing the desire to fail with the inner faith and personal and financial growth to follow. Fewer than 5% of all people ever get to level 3. Is anybody in this room at level 3? Someone said, I wish. So like I said, level 3, that person is going to be fearless. Therefore, that's the person, that's kind of who you want to be, because you want to be able to bring your product to anybody you meet and I kind of look at it in a different manner. So instead of feeling like you don't want to be rejected, I look at people and know, like, if I'm at a restaurant, maybe my waiter, the fact that I don't blitz her, I don't know what's going on at her home. She might be looking and praying for an opportunity to get her out of her financial situation. So by me being quiet, I'm holding back the gift that I have that I can give her. So I try to think about that when I'm talking to anybody, even talking to the lady earlier. Like, you don't know what somebody's going through. So when you're flipping it in your mind how you're holding something that's great, not only that, even with our products, these products help change people's lives. So instead of feeling like,
You want to use that? What's your comment?
okay, instead of feeling like you don't want to be rejected, you need to think about it in the opposite way, that actually you're giving them something good that is actually going to change and benefit them. And that kind of takes away the pressure off yourself, because you're now approaching them to help them change their life. So having that willingness is just being basically fearless, and you're willing to talk to everybody that comes in your path because you know the power of what you possess. And I think that's approaching and talking to people, because there's plenty of times, like I said, I'm not at level 3. I have a willingness. I know when I blitz somebody, they can say no, and that doesn't bother me. But I'm not to the point to where anybody I see, I'm ready to go ahead and just get that no. I guess since you right, do you think anything different about level 3, or is that kind of how you interpret it?
That's how I interpret it. I guess for me, it depends on where I am, the environment, whether or not if I'm going to blitz or so that person. So I know I'm at 2 and I'm working towards getting level 3. That just takes practice. That just takes you consistently, getting out there and talking to people, and then you will get comfortable with it. It's like a routine that you're doing it so normal that everybody that you see that you're gonna want to talk to. So you just have to get, continue being consistent and working out business every day. And if you do that, then you should end up at level 3. That's what I think.
Right. Anybody else have insight on level 3? Okay, so level 4 is called failing bigger and faster. It states the people who ascend to level 4 are those who have come to the conclusion that if failing is good, failing faster is better. Not just failing faster, but if one is going to increase their failure rate, do it after big goals that are worthy of the effort. So in the book, he was talking about, I think he sold copiers, and he was saying that, he could and try to, or individuals like a smaller company that was going to need like maybe 1 or 2 copiers, and so he would go to try to make that sell. But he also realized to go ahead and take the chance and go to the big company that's going to buy 20 as well, because when they do buy that 20, it's going to make up, let's say your rate is 10%. So if that company that says yes to 20, that basically takes away all the other 10 times you would have had to ask to get one yes. But like I said, failing bigger and faster is what we want. So that also means you do realize getting a no is okay. Like say we make our goal, we're gonna get 2 no's a day. But if you increase that, you want to get 10 no's. Network marketing is a numbers game. The more people you talk to, you're going to just keep moving with your business. Not only that, you realize that the other point in the book that was talking about this. I don't know if there was another one about failing faster. Actually, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't remember exactly. But basically, he was just talking about, like I said, instead of just going on blitzing 5 people today, I'm going to go blitz 15 because I know my rate might be 20%. So I know if I blitz 5, one of my 5 is going to sign as an LC. Versus if I blitz 15, I'm going to get 3 LCs in a day.
Battery at 19%.
So that's what it means by failing faster. And so then on level 5, it's called failing exponentially. The final level is for those rare individuals who understand that massive success requires multiplication of effort. Level 5 people enlist others to fail with them, knowing that if an individual failure means individual success, group failure equals group success. So for me, this is where I want our team to be. So if we're all failing at that fast rate, we're all actually going to be succeeding faster together. And the structure of our organization is built on team. So as everybody's doing their part, it just means there's going to be duplication seen throughout everybody's downline, and everybody will be rising to those different ranks at a faster rate, as long as you teach your downline that it's okay to fail and to not be nervous and that this is a part of success. Do you have anything else?
Just to talk about the book itself, it talked about how a lot of us close our sale before the customer does. So meaning, like I can find myself sometimes if I'm recommending products, I may not recommend everything, I really think that would help because of the dollar amount of it, then I would downplays. I would, if they do say triple threat, and if it's triple threat, I may say, okay, you can do one each month instead of doing all three. Let them order all three. So a lot of times need to have our customer tell us no. Offer as many products and let them tell us no, that they don't want that, or that's too much. Give them and offer everything that you think that will be beneficial to them, and get them to tell you no, and don't just be like, okay, well, you can just try this one product 1 month, 2 months, and if we start doing that, that can really boost our business by offering many products. I really like that part that they talk about in the book.
Right, and I agree. I actually did that this weekend when I signed a loyal customer. She was asking me what she really needed, and we talked about how the 4th of July was coming up because she wanted wraps. And I also was like, well, you're going to be eating cookout food. You might want to get those fat fighters as well, just because that's going to help you because she's going on vacation in a few weeks. So instead of me just saying, okay, she's getting the wraps and being done with the sale, I kind of still kept talking to her about other things that would be beneficial and allowed her to finally say, no, Terry, my budget is X, Y, Z. Versus me making her budget for her. And I think that's, I talked to some individuals about that before. They'll hear somebody say, well, my budget is tight, and they'll automatically just state our least expensive product when they don't ask, okay, what does that mean to you? Because tight to somebody might be $50, $60 a month, while tight to some, it is $20. Tight might also be $100. You don't know the person's budget, so don't go ahead and assume that. Ask them. And because, your help, don't feel like you're in their business either because you're a business owner. They're coming to you for your advice, your help. Ask them, what is your budget? And they'll let you know. Then you can work through different products and let them know what they're going to be able to use, what's going to be good for them. And that's kind of what I've been doing lately, too. Really, like I said, I wanted to really go over those 5 failure levels. And I guess we can go over them again later in our groups and try to get everybody to assess where they think they are, where they want to be, which I guess I have an expectation where I want everybody to. Everybody else thinks where they want to be.
I got my. I was watching.
So that's about all that I really want to say for the book, because it's also some points for our challenge to go to Vegas if people give me notes. So that's all I'm going to give you, so you don't try to just write some stuff down you heard me say. But I just think that the levels of failure are good for people to understand, because everybody in the business does have some type of fear or not wanting rejection. So don't feel just because you're new that you're the only one. Because like I said, I'm still only at level 2 at a double diamond. And for me, I feel like I need to pick myself up if I want to go to the next level and make myself a level 3 at least, if not 4, so I can start getting things moving. So the next thing is, I think it's really important when we sign up a distributor that they kind of have an expectation, they have an expectation of what they need to be doing in the very beginning, getting their minds on the right track. So for me, I came up with this little brief, I guess it's like 8 questions, suggestions that somebody should do when they sign up. And number 1 is I talk to people before I sign them up about this anyway. It's really important to know somebody's why. So you want somebody to think about why they're joining your business anyways. Are they joining it for financial freedom? Do they want more time? Do they maybe want just extra $200, $300 a month to help pay a certain bill? But I think knowing that person's why is very important, because also when they get to points where they feel like quitting or giving up, you can go back and remind them of why they started. So that keeps them going. Because I've had to do that on a couple of occasions with some of my distributors, and then I'll remind them, remember, we're going to try to, maybe prove your husband wrong. Oh, that's right. Oh, I can't quit now because I've already said it. I'm trying to prove him wrong, and that's what we're doing. So I'm like, okay, come on, let's keep going. So finding somebody's why is really important. And it's important for them, too, because that gives them motivation to keep going. So the next thing on the paper is, how much money do you want to make in your first month? I think that's very important, because you as the enroller can let them know that their expectation is unrealistic. Somebody might want to make $5,000 in their first month. Yeah, if it happens, that's awesome. I wouldn't expect that, and I don't like you have to put everything into reason, but we want everything to be realistic. Yes, you can make good money in this business. You can make it quickly. Some people do sell wraps really well, but usually that person wasn't selling wraps like that in their first month. They grew to that. But knowing how much you want to make in your first month is a good goal to set for yourself too, because then you can go back and look at what's needed of you to achieve that goal. So I think that's very important, what you want to make in your first month. And this also says, what do you want to make in 6 months? That helps you start thinking down the line of other ways you're going to have to start working your business. Because you might want to make $2,000 a month in 6 months, but you only want to work your business 1 hour a day. Well, that's not going to happen either. You have to, it has to make sense. So whatever your money expectation is, you have to be able to know that you're putting in the work for that amount. And question 4 actually says, how much time do you have to work your business every day? And by working your business, that's where I think is a big kind of misconception for people that aren't in our business. Some businesses, you have to constantly be on the phone. You have to go door to door. You have to do other things to get your sales. But for us, I think we have a business that allows us to be able to utilize a lot of different tools. So, like I said, well, a little while ago, we were across the street at Subway getting some food. As I was paying for my food, I asked the cashier, has she seen this before? And she said no. And that fact, it took me 20 seconds. I asked her, had she seen it? She said no. I told her to check out my website. These were some of the products that we had. And then also, my website was blurry on my label, but she could have read it if she wanted to. But I also said, it was blurry. Let me make sure I text you my real site so you see it. So then I also got her contact information, and we went on like that. And so normally, my goal for my team is to talk to at least 2 new people a day about your business and possibly list like 5 people. So that was one blitz, and that literally took 20 seconds. So how you're working your business, it doesn't have to be as time consuming as you think. And I guess they said earlier, a good goal for people starting out potentially. I saw someone say you should work your business, it said 20 minutes a day, but I guess that means, you could write down a list of people, conversation with them, and that, is not going to be really time consuming if that's what you're going to do for that day to grow your business. I think you can also grow your business by doing self-development, reading a book for 20 minutes a day. You can do other little things to help yourself in the long run of your business. But I was going to see, I don't have to get all this talking. Does anybody else, I'm going to say Keith, how much, do you have anything to say about how much time, or just working your business in general? Since a lot of people, to me, like I said, have the misconception that we're all day, you might see me on Facebook, but I don't work. I'm at home. I don't have any reason to not do this. But other people have jobs and they're a little more busy, how they can actually work their business but use their time effectively.
Yeah, I was just find what works. It's rap parties. That's what it's going out. That's what that's the fight right there. See, always.
Speak up.
You can hear the crowd inside. You can see the emotion in your.
I was just getting ready to.
But yeah, so like what Keith said about the rap parties, for me, when I first started, I actually, since I worked full time, I was doing my other business at the same time, I used rap parties. That's what I did a lot because that allowed me to really kind of follow up with a few people throughout the week to invite them, and then on the weekend I would have the rap party and I would talk to 6, 7 people in one setting. But that was what was most efficient for me versus talking to these people every day. And that worked really well for me in the beginning of my business, just to have parties on Saturday and Sunday, and then still kind of work my other job and everything else during the week, but just kind of utilize my time the best way that I had. Anybody else? Okay, so the next thing, number 5, do you know the steps to success? I think that is a very vital question for anybody that's new. The steps to success is what our business is founded on. It kind of seems a little cliche that we just have those 3 steps, but those 3 steps have been proven to be successful. And so we go through the steps each month. And so step 1 is join the business, but it's also to have your ADBV auto shipment on. That's very important. Your auto shipment kind of allows you to say, I'm in business. I'm in business.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm in business. I have product on hand. I'm using products. I have testimony, this, that, and the third. That's what having that auto shipment means. Like I stated earlier, also in the week with the team, your auto shipment, every business has an overhead. Every business owner has to pay one, regardless of what your business is. So having that overhead, and for us, the overhead can be as little as $100 a month. So paying $100 when you have endless amounts of money you can make, that's not that much. I think at a 1T1 mission, actually Sean and Keita said their overhead for their salon every month, I think was $2,500 to $5,000. Was one of those numbers. Every month they have to put out for this shop to run every month versus $100. That's a huge difference. Most hairstylists, I think booth rent might be $200 a week, something along those lines. So I mean,
That's cheap.
yeah.
$100 a week is cheap.
So we're looking at, they're almost up to $1,000 a month to run their business as well. And this opportunity is $100 basically for an auto ship, right? Auto shipment to the ADBV a month. That's nothing. And you want to make sure that's on as well, because that plays an effect and goes through, like it trickles down to your team when you have your auto shipment on and the statements that you're setting. Like I said, you also have testimony with product. And so step 2 is to get 4 loyal customers. So if we're going out even if you sign 1 customer a week, that's for a month. So having the goal of at least 4 customers a month, that is a pretty attainable goal for everybody. But you have to look at it as in, you also have to know your number, meaning like your ratio. So I might be 10%. So I might know every 10 people I talk to, I'm going to sign 1. So that means I'm going to have to talk to at least 40 people that month. So that's something being new, you need to go kind of figure out. And also because you're new, it might be 20 to 1. But as time goes on, your number will start getting smaller. You'll learn what to say to people. You'll learn, kind of how to better get your point out without telling the person everything about a product, because now they're confused, don't even remember what you're talking about. So they're just kind of like, well, I'll just look at it. Versus you just say something simple to wrap tight toes affirms. Oh, I need to tighten my stomach. Okay, well, this is the product you need. Let's get you signed up today. Versus you might brain like, yes, it's the botanical solution, it's safe. No, some people don't need all that. If you're just, but that takes you from going out learning what to say and kind of failing. And then step 3 for our business right now is go Ruby. Even though I guess for me, I don't look at it every month. We're not going Ruby, which would be great if you did. But going Ruby means though you're really signing 3 loyal customers. So every month, if your goal is to sign 3, then your people under you, that's their goal as well. So if that happens and that duplication, you will be going Ruby, and people will be going Ruby every month. So it's just going to be a duplicating effect. So like I said, step 1 is going to be, in the very beginning, is join the party. The next month is going to be running your auto shipment. Step 2 is signing your 4 loyal customers, and step 3 is to sign 3 distributors. And after a while, if you start completing all your steps every month, your teammates completing all your steps every month, everybody's business is going to flourish and skyrocket, and everybody's going to be happy. Number 6, for new distributors, we're going to tell them to join and make sure they watch their training videos. We also send another training video with your startup email that goes over a little more in-depth training with Cami Dempsey. She's a Black Diamond with the company, the #1 income earner. And she goes into a little training. And that's actually really good because she's going to help you in the beginning of your business to give you a little bit of a breakdown. And our training videos also do the same thing. They kind of help familiarize you with some of our terminology, some of the other things that we're doing. So going into your eSuite, watching your training is really good. And all the training videos in your eSuite take about 2 hours to watch. So you can break this up while you're waiting for your kit, because it normally takes 5-6 days for your kit to come in the mail. So you could be watching 30 minutes of training every day till your kit gets there, and you should be good to go. So, wait a minute. There's 2 6s. So,
I thought you were going to say that.
so, so,
That's what happened.
the second 6 says make a list of 25 people that you believe that would benefit from our products. If you're unfamiliar with the products, go on the website and take a look, which is going to be good because now you're going to be familiar with what we sell. And this is next to each person's name. Write down 3 products you think is going to help them. And if you don't know a specific product, put the greens by every person. Everybody needs and can benefit from the greens. Like I said the other day, I was up really late the other day, and so I actually was watching infomercials. And as I was watching them, they were talking about, there was 3 infomercials. One was talking about this world-renowned cream that takes the wrinkles out of your neck. And I was just like, really? And it said it takes up to 90 days. And I'm thinking, that sounds like a wrap. You can just put it on your neck. So there's another product out there that takes 90 days to like get rid of a little crease. But we have a product that does virtually the same exact thing, and they should see results in 45 minutes. So to me, that was almost like, wow, somebody else has something similar, but it's not exactly the same. And they also had a cream for your eyes. That's the same as like our lip and eye cream that we have, or our facial mask. So it was one of the same. Then there was another infomercial that both of them were talking about. One was talking about a greens type of juice, how the body needs the greens to help alkalize your body, help you be balanced, give you all the nutrients you need. And the other one was doing the same thing, but it was kind of in a juicing form, saying that natural fruits and vegetables are going to help you rid yourself from disease. So to me, it was just like a light bulb in my head going on for the greens, because like I always say, like everybody can benefit from taking the greens. Of course, we can't make medical claims, but you can look at people that have taken the greens, and people have testimony of their blood pressure lowering, their A1C lowering, them getting rid of their allergies. What else do greens do? People lose weight. There's a lot of different things that happen with that product. So like we said, everybody can take the greens, because I don't know too many people, not even vegetarians, that eat 8+ servings of fruits and vegetables every day with a variety of vegetables. So
Speaking of products, what I did was go in. If you're a person that needs, you want to know what the products are, because I don't memorize all the products. So I made a binder and I printed out each one of the products, and I keep the binder with me. So that way, if someone asks me, what does this product do, or what's in this product, I can one moment and I can go and pull it up. So you pull all this on your eSuite, product information, print it out, share it with you, and that way that you won't be like, I don't know what it is, when it's right there for you to have.
So the next question, which it says 7 on the sheet, it says call the people on the list and tell them that you're a new distributor and you thought they would really benefit from the products. And out of the 25 people that you name, you should find 4 people that will want to sign up with you as a customer. So that helps you get your 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days, so you can hit that first goal and get that $120 free product credit. And really the key is to call the people on the list. We have gotten to where we'd rather do Facebook, texting, but when you actually call, like people can ignore texts, people can ignore Facebook messages, they can ignore emails, but when you call and they hear your voice, unless they just hang up or do dead silence, they can't go anywhere. So now, not only that you've actually called them, but it's almost a little more personal, like, hey, how are you doing? Or some just call, hey, you about my product. Hey, how are you doing? How have you been? And then you talk to them about, like I said, I'm a new distributor. I thought of these products that would be really beneficial for you. And like I said, about at least 4 people out of 25 in the beginning will probably say, okay, I'll help you out. I'll buy a product and be a loyal customer. And so the last thing is make a list of 100 people that are highly motivated, outgoing, or needs extra money. That is that hard. It might seem hard to find 100 people, but when you start writing people down, you know people that are outgoing, you know people that are motivated. Like these different people are going to fall in different, kind of groups of your friends or people that you know. And you know the people that need cash. Typically, that probably will be the largest group because everybody knows everybody that needs extra money every month, typically. So make this list, and after that, contact 10 of these people a day, and you need to be excited. You need to have enthusiasm when you tell somebody. That's how I signed some of my distributors in the very beginning. She was like, Terry was just so enthusiastic. She wanted me to join the business with her, and, they just followed along because that enthusiasm is contagious. So at the same time, for me, I know me being it's not fake. It's real, too, because I know the products can change your life and the opportunity. So what we say is to contact the people and say, I just became a distributor with It Works. I would love to tell you about the business and these amazing products. So then after that, the person might say, I'm not interested in joining your business. And you say, okay, do you want to be a product tester and get the products for 40% off? If they say yes, then we sign them up as loyal customers. If they say no, you say, okay, would you like to try a wrap for $25 and just, see how the wrap works? If they say no, they don't want to try a wrap, kind of ask their reason. Maybe the reason is they don't have $25. If they don't have $25, you can encourage them that, you can have a party actually, and you can wrap for free if you invite 4 people that want to come and try the product. If they're still not interested in hosting a party, then you can ask them, do you know anybody that might want to try the wrap? Do you know anybody that might want the products? Or do you know anybody that might be interested in an opportunity to make extra money? So don't just take the first no. But keep going. You can always dig deeper and get something out of the conversation because people generally, they're going to be able to refer somebody to you that is going to want something. And so that's another thing, like I said, so you're going to keep going. We learned in our book that majority of people say no to a question 4 times, but on that 5th time you ask somebody, 60% of people change their answer and will say yes. And they were showing an example in the book, kind of like at the grocery store, your child is asking for a cookie. You say no, it's probably 10, 20 times, and they keep going though. And finally, usually break. Okay, you can have it. So your kids, they went for no. They kept going and going and going, and then now they get what they want because they didn't never stop. And that's kind of how the same mentality we need to have. Do y'all have any more advice when people start off as distributors, stuff that they need to know? They understand this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. They need to understand there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. I think it's very important that when everybody signs up a distributor, I'm going to have to go back with my own distributors and ask them, when your business gets rocky, when you feel like quitting, because that's going to happen, how do you want me to address you? Because everybody's different. Some people want their space, and they're going to be all right. They'll bounce back. Some people want you to stay on them, stay connected, keep talking to them. And I think that's really good to do in the beginning because it also makes it to where when that happens, you don't feel awkward like, do I keep calling, you're not answering, versus, the person, they might not want me to, so I know I can back off a little bit, versus the person that still really wants that encouragement, you might not call them because you think you're bugging them, but when you know that's what they need, it's okay. You don't feel awkward when that time comes because that time comes for everybody. Everybody gets to a point where they're just like, I'm ready to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. So ask your distributors, how do they want to be approached? How do they want you to handle and help them and work through that with them? And I think that's very important that we all need to start doing with our new distributors when we sign them. Other than that, I think I want to start having a more in-depth package to send people when they first join. I want to talk about something also that's called the 1357 rule. So in network marketing, there's this rule 1357. Most businesses unlike, I guess I am almost a rare circumstance, other people are too. Most people that join network marketing, they're not trying to quit their job in a few months. Like, they're going to earn extra money, and when they get to that point, they're going to leave. But it's not like usually an immediate, this is what they want, and they understand that. So it said in that book that it takes 1 year for you to typically make half of your income, your full-time income. So when you go into thinking that, you don't feel like you're failing when you've made, let's say, I don't know, let's just say the average job makes $35,000. I'm gonna go there. So when you're making, $10,000 first month, you're your first year, you're not all of a sudden down on yourself feeling like you failed. Because in that first year, you're only going to get to about half. And then it says in 3 years, it takes you 3 years to finally get to a full-time income. I personally think It Works is moving a little faster than the normal MLM business. So people are seeing like this big money quicker than 3 years. But for our company, it is the average person goes diamond in 2 years. So that's an income of $2,000 a year, which I guess some people, depending on your occupation, that could be full-time, or that could be enough for you to be able to pay all your bills and sustain with $2,000 a month. So a diamond takes 2 years. A double diamond.
$2,000 a month?
Yes.
For double diamond or diamond? Or?
Diamond is $2,000 a month. But I think double diamond takes 3 years to achieve average. The double diamond average is $6,000 a month. So for some people, that's even more than what their full-time income was. So that's just kind of the numbers with It Works. I'm pretty sure it's 3 years for a double diamond is the average. So that's also putting in perspective for other people. Don't be down on yourself because you didn't go diamond in 12 months. Okay, most people didn't either. There are different cases, and that's also about basically your willingness to fail. Where are you at? What are you going to push yourself to do to achieve those goals you set for yourself? But I think that, and also, I guess at year 5, it said you're going to be a pro at your company, and at year 7, you're going to be top-notch, multi-level marketing professional. So that's how I guess you would go through the ranks when you look at the time frame of being successful in the MLM, and you give yourself a chance to actually grow, because there's a lot of learning that has to be done along the way to grow as a person, as an individual, so you know how to train your team and deal with your team, because that stuff just doesn't come in the first few months of being in the business. So I'm saying, do y'all have any other input about what you think new distributors should know or what's beneficial?
As a new distributor, I wish I'd known this last month.
Well, that's what so like I said, for me, it's been a year, and now I'm finally going back, looking at what do we need to do for the new people to start, or what can we tell people in the very beginning now that I know if I would have known, I could have dealt with some of my other distributors earlier, and things could have been way different. They might not have got us down. They would have kept going, or things like that. But it's basically taken me a year to be able to sit back and kind of figure out and look, okay, some of how we've been doing things needs to be tweaked a little bit. So, anything else that's good advice for somebody that's starting out as a distributor? Things they need to know, or they should know, or expect?
And you look like you're kind of cogitating on something over there.
No, it's fine to make this last.
We're recording.
The story is almost gone.
I guess I could say a lot of new distributors think that their family and friends are going to jump on board immediately when they start, and it is not always true. So if your family and friends do not, on board, it means that you need to get out and go talk to some people that you don't know. Eventually they may come around, and they may not, and that's okay. But you just need to get out and talk to. So that's to be expected that you're probably most likely going to get a no from your closest person or family and friends, and you just need to move on and just go and keep doing your business and finding new people that will be your customers.
Because your family expects more out of you. They want more. And people, like, obviously network marketing has it leaves a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. So they feel like you're getting in that pyramid scheme. So this isn't going to work. You're not going to make money. They think they're helping you by trying to get you back out. When really, in my opinion, I feel like, for me anyways, I was at a point where I was praying about a different situation, and I knew when the opportunity just kept being present in my mind, even though I hadn't joined yet, I was still debating should I, should not, but it wouldn't go away. So that to me was my key that it's time to just come on, you need to sign up because it's not going. But when it's brought to you and you have that feeling that it's time to join, that's something between you and God. Nobody else is in that relationship but you and God. So you don't let somebody on the outside deter you and turn you away from that and make you feel like you shouldn't be doing that because they're not with you. They don't live your life. They don't pay your bills. They're not, having to go to that job every day. And that can also be the same for with your spouse. Your spouse might feel like it's silly, but at the same time, that's still your relationship and what was told to you. And if that was on your heart and that's what you're supposed to do, then you just go with it. And eventually, things usually come to pass and you are successful. People are now that wish they would have started or looking like, dang. I remember when I earned $20,000 bonus, one of the people I tried to telling me you got a little roll wrap. Just earned you $20,000. I was like, you sure did. I'm trying to get you right here with me, but you didn't want to listen. So are you ready or not? Still ain't ready. But anyways, we're just gonna keep on moving along. But I think that's to be expected. You just gotta go with what you feel in your heart, and if you know it's right, don't let anybody else from that outside stop you. Like today, I put up a post that was saying, don't let somebody who's barely making 5 figures a year stop you from making 5 figures a month. You have to realize it's a mindset thing. Not everybody can see the vision like that, and not everybody is willing to give something, to believe in something, and to also go for their dreams. So I think that's really big.
The only other thing that I have to add is that when you're signing loyal customers up and your loyal customers tell you that they don't get paid until Friday or the next 2 weeks, I can't do it. I always ask, do they want to post their bid order? I always ask them, I say, I can set your order to process on that day to go ahead and get their information, because a lot of times if we wait for them to that payday around, something comes up, they can't do it. And a lot of times if I get their information, they don't contact me and I'll go ahead and process that payment. Or their order on that day. So ask them to post date, or you setting up their order to process on that day.
Just not do that on this first go round. Okay, so the last part that I want to talk about is charting. So like I said, for our business, we work as a team. We build different teams if we want to advance in the ranks. So the first rank that we have is called the executive. And this is what an executive looks like. An executive has 2 people under them, or 2 legs under them. Both of these legs have 400 GV. So GV means group volume. So that means even though you see one space, there could be Kenitha right here, Karen right there. There could be more people in this one leg. The same with over here. So as long as this whole group of people have 400 in volume as a whole, then they're considered a qualified leg. So a qualified leg is 400 GV. And if you're the distributor, if you don't have anybody under you, you are your GV because there's only one person in your group. So that's what an executive is. And an executive makes on average $309 a month. And that doesn't include your wrap cash. So when you sell wraps to somebody individually, that's cash that you make instantly, and it doesn't include your commissions. For commissions, we make 15% off of our own loyal customers. We make 15% off of our distributors' orders that I sign up. And we also make, when those distributors sign up loyal customers, you make 10% off of those loyal customers. That's how it starts off with a executive. And I think, anybody have a question about executive? Or a qualified leg? Does everybody understand? So a qualified leg, I'll say that again, is when you have one whole set of people and one of your legs has 400 group volume. And Your auto shipment counts as volume. Any orders, if they order on your site as retail, that product still has a value, so that still counts in that GP.
And an executive has to have
two legs. So yeah, make sure, so you sign up 2 people and you don't place one under the other. So with that part, the goal that we have, even for right now, anybody who signs up today before 11:59, you can get the Ruby bonus and earn an extra $500. And so Ruby is a very pivotal rank in our business. Ruby is the foundation for every rank above it. So a Ruby, on average, makes $599 a month. A Ruby also, so a Ruby leg has 3 people on their top line that they've signed up. So you sign up 3 distributors, and these are now 3 legs. And one of your legs is actually an executive leg. So the good thing about our company is, let's say you sign up, let's say I sign up Dorian. Say I sign up Dorian, and then the person, 3 people under Dorian actually goes executive before anybody else. That person now is considered, they make my whole leg an executive leg. So every leg is based off the highest person rank in that downline. So it doesn't have to be the person at your top that has to be executive. It could be somebody that they signed up and they signed up and they signed up. As a Ruby, you have an executive leg, and then you have 2 more people that are qualified legs on your top line. So you have a total of 4, 4 legs, well, not say legs, 4 places that it's going to be a 400 volume. So like I said, your executive has 2 under them that are both 400, and then you have 2 more people on your top that are 400. And that can be with people under them as well. So that's what a Ruby is. And that's basically the foundation for all the rest of our ranks. I'm going to briefly go over the rest. I don't want the charts to scare people and make you feel like that's impossible. But the next rank is Emerald. And so for an Emerald chart, you actually have 2 rubies.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah,
No,
that's a lot of colors.
So at first when you look at it, it does seem overwhelming, but the thing of it is, you remember that you're building a team, so you're not responsible to fill all this out. That's not what you want. You want to sign up your friend who signs up their friend who's signing up their friend, so now it's a team effort. Yeah, you can sign up somebody, like I can sign up somebody and place them under my friend that signed, but it's a team effort, so you're not responsible to fill out all these boxes by yourself. So an Emerald, on average, makes $1,100 a month in commission. An Emerald has 2 Ruby legs, and we just talked about the Ruby, which is a Ruby is 5 people under the Ruby, and then you have 2 more people on your top that have 400 volume. And I know actually we have a couple people in this room that are actually almost boxed in for Emerald, if not further. So getting these people, it doesn't have to take forever. And as long as you find people that are motivated with you, y'all are going to be moving up the ranks. And you're going to find these individuals that are ready to run. Do you have any questions about Emerald?
Why are you making that face?
And also, I didn't say, so Emerald is also a kind of pivotal rank as well, because in the other ranks, you only go down certain levels on percentage, but when you hit Emerald, you now get to go infinity down your downline. So let's say you hit Emerald, but you have like 7 legs of people or 8. Now you get paid for infinity. When you were a Ruby, which I didn't say, a Ruby actually only goes down to its 5th leg. Executive goes down to its 4th. No, wrong. A Ruby goes down to its 4th level, and an executive goes down to its 3rd. So when you hit Emerald, you actually go down forever. And you go down forever until the next Emerald pops up in your organization. So you get the infinity bonus when you hit Emerald. And so So the next rank is called a diamond. A diamond averages $1,900 a month in commissions. There are 23 spots in a diamond, not including yourself. But the good thing about diamond, a diamond has 3 rubies. And if you look at it as 3 rubies, it doesn't become so overwhelming. So you have an emerald, which has 2 rubies in it, and the 2 people at the top. And then you have another ruby leg. So you can't have 3 rubies under that emerald. You have to have, a ruby in the separate leg outside of the emerald leg. And then you have to have 3 other people on your top that have 400 GV. And so when you go to the rank of diamond, you start getting all the bonuses the company has to offer. You start, they say you start being able to write your own money because you get generation bonuses, you get diamond bonuses. The diamond bonus deals with fast starts. So I don't know if we talked about it or if everybody knows. So anytime you sign up a distributor, and if you're fast start qualified, being fast start qualified means you have 2 active loyal customers. By active, it doesn't mean they're ordering every month. It means they've completed 3 months or they paid $50. So that's considered an active loyal customer. So as long as you have 2 customers under you, loyal customers, and you sign up a distributor, and if they get 2 customers in their first 30 days, loyal customers, you get a $100 bonus. That's for every single rank, no matter what you want in the business, even if you're just a distributor. But when you become a diamond, when you sign somebody up and they get 2 loyal customers, you get 100 plus you get your $80 diamond bonus. So you make $180 off of each time. Basically, your teammate starts becoming successful and starts getting customers. And that also happens. So when let's say I sign up Kenitha, and after I was diamond, and Kenitha starts signing up all her new distributors and her team, and she starts ranking. Because I signed Kenitha up after I went, everybody she signs up as well now. So when she signs up other people in her organization and they get fast start, Kenitha gets the $100 bonus. But because I'm the diamond, I get $80. So once you get to diamond, you start getting all these different type of bonuses that are available, and it's like I said, it just I guess that's why there's such a big difference in your paycheck. It can just really change depending on how fast you're growing, what your team is doing, and that's so on and so on. So for diamond, like I said, you have an emerald and you have a ruby and 3 qualified legs at your top. And then the other ranks, you can just stop at that for now. We don't have to talk about double diamond, triple diamond. We don't have to do that. But so those are basically the first 4 ranks once you start promoting. So if anybody in the room, does anybody have a question about promotions or how to get different ones?
So the bottom line is build rubies.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And don't get overwhelmed with all the others because you have an upline that can help you with that. And if she doesn't know, then we have Susan.
And if she doesn't know,
then we got somebody else. So you're not in this by yourself. Right. And don't try to figure out the charts and chart your way through. Get out there and do the work and build rubies. Find distributors, find loyal customers, and build rubies. Help people make money. That's the bottom line.
Right. And if you're completing the steps to success every month, you're building rubies inevitably. And you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about somebody being a 400 leg. If they're getting 4 loyal customers, depending on the orders, running their auto shipment, they're going to be about a 400 volume leg. So that's key, just following the steps to success. Any other questions? So, I'm trying to think about anything else I want to talk about. Does anybody have any questions or anything else that they want to talk about?
Sounds like it's a wrap to me, says Prudence.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to end the meeting. I guess Kalicia can come off of mute, so if she wants to say anything to everybody.
Yeah, I'm still here. I can't hear what you're saying.
Do you have any questions or anything you want to say to anyone?
Do you want me to talk to the people about their goals or no?
They're shaking their head that they don't want to hear their goals right now.
Okay, so no one wants to know their goals for their steps to the next, whatever their short-term goal was. No one wants to know the steps for their short-term goal.
I think they do want to know, but just not right now because there's some people at the meeting that want to go, but they still do want to talk about it.
Yeah, because I want to know mine.
I want to know mine.
All right.
So, well,
But if you,
okay,
but like we can
So hold on,
talk
guys,
hold on
outside.
a second.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
So everybody else that's here, does anybody have any questions today? That's really all I wanted to talk about. Kind of briefly about charting, how we're going to starting people off, and kind of knowing, expecting, and facing the fear of rejection. Do I have anything else? Everybody's good? I do want everybody actually, since today's the last day of the month, kind of go back through your month and evaluate what you did. You know if you talk to 5 people a day, you know if you talk to 1 person a day, and kind of see what that left you with as the month ended. Also, I think it's very important. I've challenged us to talk to 2 new people a day about the business opportunity. There was another book that I was reading or listening to, and the guy said he talked to 2 new people a day, 5 days a week. So at the end of the year, he ended up talking to 520 people about his business opportunity. He was able to sign 10% of the people he talked to. So he signed up 52 distributors in a year. I mean, if you sign up 52 people in a year with it works, your business would be booming. Because, yeah, 52 people, that's over the amount of people in a double diamond chart, just so you guys know. And that's just you by yourself, not even including what your team is doing. So if out of those 52 people, though, it said that only 4 of them were actually aces, like a deck of cards, was 52 cards. 4 of them were true aces, meaning they were running as hard as the same person. So you have to kind of look at your business like that too. Not everybody's going to be an ace. Some people are going to be face cards. They're going to do stuff, but they're still not going to be that. Everybody's different. Some people are going to be number cards, less than 5. They might tell you, no, they ain't doing nothing. So you kind of have to look through the people and realize not everybody's going to go at that pace you want, but at the same time, the more people you talk to, the better you have your chances. Because if you only talk to 48 people and all your aces were at the, or you only signed 48 and your 4 aces came at the very end, you know, what did you just miss out on? You got to look at it in that type of perspective. So I've been pushing, and I want people to talk to 2 new people a day about their business, 5 days a week. So that's 10 people a week. You don't have to talk to those people face to face. It's just you going out, talking to somebody. You can message an old friend from high school, college, somebody at the grocery store that you meet. You can be anybody, but just try to get those 2 people in a day, and you're going to see a big difference in your business. And that's kind of, I guess, where I want to conclude this. So, and then some people do want to hear their goals. So, I guess, Khaleesi, you can start out with Kanitha's goals.
How do I get to Emerald?
Hello? Hi. Hi. Okay, so you want me to just start with random going instead of going, because it kind of builds as each person goes, but I guess we can just start in the middle. Angela said I was too loud. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so Kanitha is trying to go Emerald by July 31st. So basically that means she's going to need those 2 rubies. If anybody else has a similar goal and they're trying to get those 2 rubies, there's a couple of things that you have to understand that are in between And I think Kanitha is pretty much tracking only because we talk very often, and I'm kind of, trying to keep her up to speed with what needs to happen. But generally, if you're trying to build rubies, you have to know how to chart yourself to emerald, first of all. Do you know how to chart yourself to emerald? If you don't know, then you need to actually get, and I have mine, but it's not in here now, but you need to actually get in the chart and fill it out. Also, if you're going to chart yourself to emerald, that means you're charting someone else to ruby. You can't just chart somebody to ruby and then expect for them to understand what's going on. You have to teach them how to chart themselves to ruby. So it's kind of like a levels thing. So I think you mentioned earlier that you wanted Jemiah to be your ruby. So if Jemiah is going to be your ruby, Jemiah has to know what's going on with ruby. That's where training comes into play. I've been saying it all week in the past couple days, going into these promotions, that you can't just say you want to rank if you're not willing to teach the people. So you have to be able to teach your downline the things they need to know in order to get you to that rank. So charting yourself to emerald, teaching Jemiah how to chart to ruby, and I'm not sure who that other person was. I put a question mark by it. I don't know if you're going to go with your brother or your husband, whichever one you decide. It's really up to you. But that person needs to get it. Because what we have learned in the year that Terry, Angela, and I, and some others have been doing the business is you can't do it all alone. You can't. You can't just put people on a chart and then expect for it to flow. It's so much less stressful if you teach your top leaders how to go, whatever that rank is that you need them to go, all the way down to the 400 leg under the executive. So that's like layered leadership. Another thing you need to know for your steps to get there is how to move volume and how to move distributors. If you don't know how to move volume and you don't know how to move distributors, it's going to hold you back. So you're going to be teaching the rubies that as well, how to move volume and how to move distributors. Because if they get 7 distributors and they just keep them all on their top because they don't know anything, then you're stuck. So, I talk with you and I talk with Courtney, and I'm like, hey, when you get the next person, put them here, put them there. That's a part of that leadership above an emerald that you're teaching your downline. You have to be commissions qualified, which for you is, it's a no-brainer. You keep your auto shipment on. It's not something that I have to say. But for someone else who's claiming to want to go emerald, having your auto shipment on is crucial. It's vital. You have to have an understanding for team growth and personal development. Because you're growing to the teams, an emerald has about 13, 14, 15 maybe people. When you start growing into that amount of distributors, you have to understand team concept. You have to understand how to delegate and how to follow up with your team. You also have to be able to train your distributors how to host a party. If you never hosted a party, you're kind of cutting yourself short because you can only go so far until you meet a distributor that's like, oh, I want to host parties, but you ain't never hosted one. So how do you get that person there? So you need to be able to host a party. You should be able to at least give some information on vending events, because you might not be a vending event person, but the next person that you get could very well be that. So if you don't really know that much about vending, that's something that you got to start studying up on and understanding. You also need to be pretty proficient at blitzing. I don't think that you can be a good emerald in this business and not blitz. I just don't see how that's possible. You need to be able to blitz. You need to be able to teach your distributors to blitz. And a lot of the times, I feel like, bring people with you. We've done it together when you came to North Carolina. I watched what you did. You watched what I did. We took some ideas from each other. So that's a part of being an emerald and building those two rubies. I think that was pretty much it for that particular one. Like I said, for you, we talked about it, so you pretty much know. Every single day, you want to take one of those things that I just said, hey, make sure you are charting. Take that and work on it. In addition to everything else you're doing, responding, following up, getting loyals, listening, do the charting task. And then once you have that, then start teaching your distributors. Once you have that, then you go to the next one. The next day, you might decide, okay, well, let me talk to Jemiah. She's going to be my Ruby. I need to talk to her. So you actually take the time to sit down, if it's on a phone call, if it's on a Google Hangout, however you do it, and you actually say, hey, Jemiah, let me show you this chart. This is what this means. Kind of like what Terry just did with holding up the chart, showing her what group volume is. If she doesn't know that she can get a Ruby chart in her eSuite under the documents library, then she's not ready to do a Ruby. So you can't put her there and expect a Ruby to be able to lead those 5 people if she's still trying to figure out what's the Ruby volume, what's the average Ruby volume, what do you need to maintain Ruby. That kind of stuff is important. So if you don't have all of these, checks on the block, then you're gonna put yourself in a position where you're overworking. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to delegate mini leaders, like Rubies. If you're a Ruby, you need to be a leader. And I think that's about it. Do you have any questions?
I just need to know. Me and my team
It's hard for me to hear you when I'm talking, so.
I can't hear you now either.
I know, but I was saying, okay, who else is there that had a goal that wanted to know? Does Karen want her goals or Courtney's goals? Hey, Courtney. Okay, so could you hear me talking to Kanika? Could you hear me talking to Kanika? No? Okay, so your goals are going to be similar to hers. Can you hear me now? Yeah, okay. So your goals are going to be similar to hers. The only difference is your emerald chart is already filled. So you can take the leaders that you have, the distributors that you have in those spaces right now that are already in that emerald chart and fill out a chart. You can actually take the chart and fill it out. All the names that are under you that are in those spaces. Once you realize or once you know who is where, then you have to start attacking that chart. Like, okay, Kanika is the Ruby already, so you already have one Ruby chart that's qualified. It's already a Ruby. And then you're going to go to the next side, which is Amaya, and get with Amaya. Now, if you decide, okay, well, Amaya's not really responsive, I can't get any information out from her, you might have to go to another person that's active under her, or you might just have to build another Ruby leg. So once you decide, you kind of have to like evaluate your chart and determine which way you're going to go. So some really important key points is staying linked in with your team, continuing to talk to those Rubies that are in your downline already, and following up with the executive legs that are down there under you. Also following up with those Rubies how to chart for themselves. If they don't know how to chart for themselves, then you're selling them short. You're putting them at a halt. So if they have 3 people that joined them and they don't know where to put them or how to move volume or how to move distributors, then you're putting them at a halt. So that's one of the things that you got to start teaching the people below you. Like I said, you can go with the people that are already there, or you can start your own new Ruby leg. You have to get commissions qualified, which you're just like Kanika, you run your auto shipment. That's not ever usually an issue. And then you have to have an understanding for team growth and personal development. So every day you should be working on personal development. Every day you should be working on leadership training and then telling your people what you're learning. Just like Terry will post, she's reading this Go for No book, and she's telling all of us to read it. You do the exact same thing. Whatever you find, you stay linked in, and then you delegate it all the way down to the bottom levels. You need to be proficient in training on parties. If you never hosted a party, then you should host a party. You gotta start watching YouTube videos on parties, going to more parties, trying to host more parties, because you're gonna get those distributors that need to know that. And then vending events. If you're not, like I was telling her, if you're not a vending event person, you still need to be proficient in training on that, because you're gonna have rubies who may host a vending event. And if they do, where are they gonna get their information from? It's not you. And then the last thing is you have to be proficient in blitzing and blitz training. So hosting parties, vending events, blitzing and blitz training. If you have a new distributor, you take them with you and go blitz. If you have a new distributor and they live in another state, send them a video of a YouTube of someone else blitzing, so they kind of get an idea of what blitzing really is. What else was the last one? Understanding volume levels and basic customer service questions. If I get ABS rejected, what does that mean? You know, you're gonna have somebody that signs up, they're gonna go get a loyal, and they're gonna call you like, I tried to sign up a loyal and they got ABS rejected. Well, basic customer service questions you should be able to answer as an enrolled. You should know what ABS rejected means. And volume, understanding volume, that basically means you know the average volume to maintain for an emerald. If you don't know what it is, it's in your document library in your eSuite. So that's one of those things you gotta be digging into. In order to maintain emerald, what does your volume need to be? In order to maintain ruby, what does your volume need to be? And even up to diamond, really, you should know what volume needs to be for those. And I think that's about it. Did you have any questions?
Can you hear me?
That's one event.
Can you hear me? Okay. I think I got it. I need to go back and read some things, but I think I pretty much got it. But if not, I'll message you.
Who else was there that had steps goals, steps for their goals?
Who else? What?
Who else was there that had short-term goals that they wanted the steps for?
Karen, but she left. She had to go somewhere. She had to go get some khakis for her son. He starts his new job in the morning. So, but she's gone already. So let me give you back to Terry, and then I guess you can figure out where to go from there. Okay, bye. Okay. Here you go.
You know where it's at? On the eSuite in document library.